Well, welcome back to Rickets 140 build progress update number 2. I had a whole whack of lumber left over from my fish room, so I just went ahead and built the stand. I just had to go out and get a couple extra pieces. One of them is the 2x6 span that goes around the top. So essentially this is just a simple, cheap 2x4 frame. It's the same one I used for my 90 gallon. It is created, the plan is created by a guy, I think his name is Garth from Reef Central. I will put the post, the forum post with the instructions in the description if anybody cares or wants. It's simple, it's easy, and it's proven. And the nice thing about this plan, this stand is, like the skeleton at least, is that depending on the size of your tank, it determines the size of the top brace. So you got a smaller tank, you're probably just going to use 2x4s. Longer, heavier tank, 2x6, 2x8, 2x10, and so on and so forth. And what that does is that allows you to get away from having or needing a center brace, which means you can get your sump in and out easier, you can clean it easier, because the center brace impedes the openness of under the tank. So yeah, the skinning of the stand and the cupboard and the automatic lifting canopy, that'll all come later. I'll probably build that when I have the tank on the stand, because trying to guesstimate the exact measurements and everything, I can probably do a good job, but I'd rather actually have the tank on the stand so I can make sure it's perfect. I'm not going to be out a 1/4 inch or whatever. That would just frustrate me. So yeah, there'll be some foam, because I'll probably won't have a rim on this made tank. But if you had a rim, you wouldn't need plywood or foam on top. So that's that. The other thing is the fish room. So I've got some shelves up here. It's a little messy, apologize, but this is my little kind of dry goods water change area. I've got my barrels. I've got my RODI. So my RODI, I got a 90 gallon per day. I had an extra membrane housing, so I got another membrane. Right now, I think because it's just breaking in and maybe some pressure issues, I'm only getting about 110 gallons per day. Still pretty good. It's fine for what I need, and it'll last a little longer with the 2 membranes. I've got in here, I've got my rocks. I did some rock work, not as much as I thought or hoped, because it was harder and more frustrating than I thought. I got the rocks, I got a heater, I got a pump that is moving the water from the bottom to the top and in a circle, so it's just got some movement. And I've got a mesh bag with a big old stinky dead shrimp in there rotting away to populate the tank with beneficial bacteria. And if you see on the side there, I got that Brightwell nitrite exporting brick. It's pretty awesome. It's a fantastic product. I don't know if it's going to work. It seems like the theory is fantastic. People online give it great reviews, and I'm not having a sand bed, so this is kind of replacing my sand bed in my mind, to add that beneficial bacteria area that would have come from the sand bed. And sand beds have a lot of surface area that hold beneficial bacteria. But this goes in the sump. It will have its own section in the sump that will be fed from a tube coming off the return pump manifold, because it needs a lower flow than what would be going through the sump. And then since it has its own section, I'll have the ability to add another brick, or maybe even 2 in the future if I want. But it says this does a 1,000 gallon system, so hopefully the one works. The other thing I've got already is I've got the eShops Eclipse L large. This does 1,000-ish gallons per hour. I'll probably only be pumping around 800. Is what I'm estimating. The cool thing about this is, not only does it look great, you know, DIY is nice and all, and I did the DIY coast to coast on my last one, which was great, but this one looks finished. It's super low profile. Like it is a sexy look. I really like that. So I'm putting a little extra money in the tank this time on the pieces that I'll be seeing, i.e. not DIYing everything. And this has the capacity to do a bean animal. I absolutely love that overflow system. It's kind of cool that the industry is taking stuff that DIYers used to do and they are incorporating it into their products. So that's awesome to see. Makes things a little easier, especially for people that may not, maybe they don't have the tools, or they don't have the gumption, or the, just the skills to DIY stuff. They can still get a lot of the really cool options that DIYers do, but in a store-produced product. Just unfortunately, it may take longer for that to come out. But they're doing it. Like, they're following the industry, they're following the hobby, and they're following the pioneers. Here's my linear actuator that will be lifting my hood. Hopefully that works out. Got some other stuff, heaters, salinity. I'm slowly getting pieces for my DIY controller. These are temperature monitors. I got a couple of those. Got some float switches, a bunch of other stuff in there. So those will be videos on their own, is the controller build, because I can probably build what I want for a fraction of the price of a say an Apex, a Neptune, and I will detail that build as much as possible, so if anyone's interested, they can try it on their own. We're talking a price difference, like a big price difference. That's the other thing. For all my equipment and stuff, I'm going to release a video talking about the place I'm getting my stuff, because as a Canadian, it's not that easy to get stuff. So I will release a video on that, because it's pretty important, and I appreciate the place that I'm getting it from. So definitely watch for that, because then if in the future you're sitting there going, I wonder where you got that, it'll be there. Like, you'll know where I'm getting my stuff, why I'm getting my stuff, and I guess how much I'm spending on my stuff, if you care. So yeah, got some Microbacter 7 in the system there with the stinky shrimp populating the tank with beneficial bacteria. I used this for the last tank, it worked, and that's where we are. Fish room done, stand done, things are purchased. Tank will probably be coming within the next couple of weeks. That'll be the next big milestone, and then I'll be skinning the stand and getting the rest done, and then it'll be a matter of working on some DIY components and getting it ready for livestock somewhere around June, July. So we're making good progress. It's pretty cool. Pretty excited. Later.